Hello and welcome to Your Mind Matters, NPL's first mental health awareness podcast where we discuss mental health and all things related to it. My name is Bassam Habib. I'm the BUL at NPL Program Manager.
And I'm Lana Boleyjack. I am in the Education and Literacy Department here at Nashville Public Library. Let's get into this. What are we doing here? What is Your Mind Matters?
We are doing a podcast here between me and you, and I feel grateful and happy to be doing this podcast.
Yeah,
with
same.
you, Lana.
Same. I feel
Hey,
grateful
there's
too.
nobody else in this building that I would want to be doing it with,
Oh, wow.
except for maybe Kyle, but RIP to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle Barber, who has been in this since the beginning until now, which is fine. We're not bitter about it at all.
Yeah.
Kyle, if you're listening.
Kyle Jesus Christ Barber will come again.
So let's get into this, right? You guys are probably listening and thinking, like, what is this? Who are these people? What are they talking about? Mental health. What is Your Mind Matters? So a little bit of backstory. So Your Mind Matters is or was a program initiative that Linda Harrison, our Assistant Director of Education and Literacy, came up with last year. So she told us, she had a conversation with her brother about men's mental health. He is a psychiatrist, and he was telling her about how men's mental health is at an all-time low. Suicide rates between men of the age of 45 and 60 are increasing, and men are isolating themselves at more and more high rates as the years go on. And she was really alarmed to hear that. And so she came to the library, and knowing how much resource programming we do here, she wanted us to implement a mental health program specifically for men's mental health to, kind of destigmatize conversations surrounding mental health in male spaces. So that's how we started this. It started as a monthly panel discussion that we held at the main library where people could come in person or they could watch through streaming and discuss different topics with mental health professionals in the Nashville area. And so we did that for about 6 months, since August of 2023.
Yeah.
And then, I think that we were meeting about it pretty regularly, me, you, and Kyle, about, ways that we can take this kind of conversation and catapult it, put it in a space that's a little bit more accessible and address topics that are not just for men, but also for people who identify differently. And so we came up with the idea of transitioning Your Mind Matters from a panel discussion that occurs in person to a podcast that can live on many platforms, that people can listen to in their car, that people can listen to on a walk.
Yeah,
and that's where we're taking you on a walk.
We're taking you on a walk.
We're taking you on a walk with mental health here at the library. And we're just going to have a candid discussion today about Your Mind Matters and about our minds and how they matter and how we discovered that our minds mattered.
I'm about to put my heart on the mic.
He's going to put but Sam is going to put it all on the mic today. I'm going to put some of it on the mic because I don't want to put all of it on the mic. But Sam, before we get into that, I think you wanted to kind of talk about how Your Mind Matters has kind of blossomed just for BUL in general.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning of Your Mind Matters, we faced some interesting resistance from some people within the library system, but also just in general. And I think that was kind of like an interesting, I don't want to use like the word experiment, but kind of like an interesting maybe insight to gain with how people like felt. Like I think a lot of people were triggered by things in the beginning too, which is, I know triggered is like a trendy word and stuff, but I don't know, we're going to be using some words. So in the beginning, there was this resistance to it, and it was more, well, how are you going to do this? Which was really interesting. There was a lot of like hopelessness about everything in the beginning. It's like, how are we going to like do mental health at the library and like an initiative like this? And then now, fast forward like a year and a half later, we have a lot of mental health programming. And then I've seen this like personally when I first started with Be Well. I had a lot of mental health programming ideas, and I kind of wanted the library to be a space for not like clinical therapy, but a space where people could come and just learn and be educated and have the literacy that they need about mental health topics.
Yeah.
And in the beginning too, like for me, there was a lot of like this interesting resistance with everything, and we're just kind of weary about everything around it. But we can like discuss that a little later when we get to these points. But basically, there's now programs that came out of Your Mind Matters, which is really cool, and they're like their own independent programs. And we've had people across other library systems, like we've had the Billings library system and the Kansas Public Library, like email us and be like, how do we implement something like this at our library system?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, there was a lot of resistance. So the resilience that we have had in doing this has been really cool. And now it's like blossoming into something beautiful, I think, where we're having like discussions slowly, but the discussions are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, it's becoming more sustainable.
Yeah, it's becoming more sustainable.
I think that's the thing that we're looking. I mean, I don't know that anybody intended for Your Mind Matters to be like a continual thing. I mean, but the amount of meetings that we've had with local mental health professionals and people reaching out and asking like, how can I get involved with the library? How can I get involved with patrons? What ways can I come to a branch and do a seminar on, men's mental health or women's mental health or LGBT mental health or whatever it is? I mean, we have seen a lot more community members in Nashville wanting to see how they can get involved. And that's good for you guys who are listening, and that's good for us who work at the library as well. I mean, I don't know that all of us even know what all resources are out there, and so it's nice to have this sort of connection. We're already, doing so many things when it comes to resources and connecting the public with knowledge. Why not connect them with knowledge about mental health?
Yes.
So
the amount of therapists and like mental health professionals just that have reached out is wild.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of people that are like reaching out. They're like, hey, like I'll do this at the library. Like I'm down to like talk about postpartum at the library, or I'm down to talk about like depression, anxiety, or suicide at the library. And it's really cool. The library is an amazing place to talk about this because it's not, like I was saying earlier, there's no like clinical setting. It's just kind of like a free space where you could come and it's not about you. Like you're not getting studied or something. You're just attending, you're just stepping into Wikipedia, but it's real life.
It's a real life encyclopedia.
It's a real life encyclopedia.
Yeah. You come in and you get the info. We give you the resources. And I think also like some of the pushback that we got initially had to do with like, well, we at the library are not therapists, right? We're not equipped to tell people their diagnoses or, what they need to do with their mental health. But that was never what we were trying to do. Yeah. It was just we're the liaison between the patrons and resources.
Also, it's cool to be able to go to a place. Like I feel like the library is the last space in the city where this is free. All of this is free. You don't
have
to
just
pay.
Free, but it's neutral.
Yeah, and it's neutral.
We are not a bipartisan. As an institution, the library is not a political face, a political figure. We don't get involved in those things. Maybe people come here and they do those things, but we don't get involved in the political debates. We are literally just here for people to come and get free access, free information, free programming, and that's a beautiful...
Quench the thirst of your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Free your mind and your ass will follow. That's George Clinton.
Is that George Clinton?
Yeah,
I thought that was in Vogue.
Maybe, too, but I just know it from the Funkadelic.
Oh, wait, they didn't say that. They said, free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways.
But yeah, it's cool. The library's great.
The library's great. Advocate for your libraries.
Yes.
Come to your libraries. Tell people about your libraries and get a library card.
And we are a social service. That's what the library is literally classified as, is we are a social service. So for the people that are like, oh, well, the library is not social work, but we are.
It's not.
We're in the.
It can be.
We're in the
category
the trenches of it. Yeah, we're like on the. We're like the outer ring of it.
All right, Bassam, let's talk about it. What does mental health mean to you?
Oh my God, man, mental health to me means a lot of things. So, as of recent, I'm gonna put my life on the line right now. Recently, I have been thinking a lot about mental health and the environment, and not just what we as individuals do, but how our environment affects our mental health directly. And I haven't really thought about that before because I feel like we're given this, these ideologies of it's kind of up to you. Your mental health is up to you, exercise, eat right, go to therapy, do all these different things, change your perspective, change your mind, and, all these things. But nobody really talks about how your environment is affecting your mental health, because I think that's just a much harder conversation to have because it involves the collective. It's like a community. The community has to heal for you to heal, which then brings up these weird, interesting questions that people think about, is my healing depending on somebody else? If I'm doing all of these things, but the way that this person that I have to be in community with is treating me is negatively affecting me, this is out of my control now. I can't just change my mind. They're still treating me badly. So, and I can't really leave the environment because I don't know, that's scary. I don't want to just leave. So I have to figure out. So the mental health and the environment topic has been something that I've recently been thinking about. It's man, if you are in a situation where you're experiencing a profound, you're experiencing racism or microaggressions, or somebody's just treating you like shit, and you have to be around this person all the time or around this group of people all the time, no amount of exercise or diet or yoga or sound bath or whatever is going to stop that from happening. It's it has to be a relationship. It's a relationship thing, and it's relationship maintenance and the repair that has to happen in the relationship for the mental health to come back. So that's been something that I'm thinking about recently when it comes to mental health, is the environment. But what does it mean to me? I don't know. What does it mean to you?
Sure. I think mental health for me is just human health. It's something that I heard somebody say a couple weeks ago. I think we were in here maybe, but mental health is just as necessary as any other health. You go to the dentist every 6 months to get your teeth cleaned and get checked up, and you go to the doctor every a couple times a year to get a physical and to make sure everything is running right. And when things aren't running right, you invest in that so that you can live a healthy, happy, long life, right? And so it's your mental state is just as important as your physical. We go to the gym and work out, and we eat clean, and we drink water, and we do all of these things, but we don't think about what we're putting into our minds. And our minds need to be cleaned. Our minds need to be filtered out. Our minds need to be maintained as well, just as much as our bodies do. And so for me, it's a human necessity. And I think that like it's a recent thing, right? People are talking more and more about mental health and
Sure. Yeah,
advocating for
it's
it.
like trending now, or like it's
It's
like a
it's becoming a
mainstreaming
kind of
thing.
trendy thing,
But
yeah.
yeah.
But it didn't. I mean, growing up, we did not hear the word mental health this much, like at all. I think if I had $1 for every time somebody said, "Oh, mental health is important," I would have
You would have
$0
no dollars.
because nobody
It
talked
was
about it.
my like family's way of talking about it was just pray. Like my mom would just be
Same.
like, just pray to God.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a pastor, is a pastor, and we grew up in a very religious household where we were the same thing. It's like when you're sad or when you're anxious or when you're struggling, you pray, you take it to God. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but also I think there's like this kind of like fear to say like I'm not well and I'm not okay and I need to address some things that might be like an issue.
Yeah.
And for me, for a really long time, that was grief for me. And still is, honestly, because my mom passed away. And my mom used to work here, actually. She used to work at the library. And a lot of people who work here remember her and knew her. And I was 16 when she died and didn't know the first thing about grief or what it was like to lose someone that paramount to your life. And so life moves really quickly. When people pass away, like life doesn't stop for them. It doesn't pause and say, "Oh wait, Dorothy died. Let's give let's give Lana a break." You know,
Mm,
life keeps going. And so I kind of just adapted, right? Like I just was like, all
yeah.
right, let me keep doing the things. And years later, it was impacting me in a way that I did not intend or expect. I thought the grieving process was like, you know, you bury her, you cry every couple of years when her birthday passes or when her anniversary of her death
Yeah.
comes, and then you're good. And it's a
No, it's
lifelong,
like, yeah, it's a lifelong thing.
yeah.
It's like a non-linear thing either. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
it just
It's
ups and
the
downs,
yeah. It's a what did we say earlier? It's a
fluctuation.
fluctuation.
Yeah, yeah,
There's a love thing there, and then
yeah.
there's a mind thing there. And I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine what that did to 16-year-old me.
Yeah.
I don't even know. So,
Dang.
and I'm in therapy now,
Yeah.
and
So
this is my first time.
how is it like showing up in ways that you didn't know?
Therapy or my grief?
Your grief.
My grief shows up in a lot of ways. I think um, I feel uh, a little bit like shortchanged sometimes because like I didn't get the amount of time that I intended on getting with my mom. I get
Mm.
very sad during like Mother's Day and very like envious of other people because, you know, they're sharing pictures of their mom and they're like, oh, they're hanging out with their moms. And like to see like an adult person have this really close relationship with their parent and like the relationship you have with your parent when you're young and then like seeing that transform as an adult and having
Yeah.
like kind of this like mutual understanding between you and your parent, like I didn't get that. And so I feel like a little bit robbed. And so like that kind of makes me feel sad. And um my therapist and I have been talking about like I have these very like visceral reactions to like feeling rejected.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that had anything to do with her because like I didn't feel rejected by her ever. And when she passed, obviously that wasn't something that like I blamed her for. But realistically, there's a sense of like I wasn't prepared for her passing. And so I wasn't able to control anything that had to do with that situation. And so like when I have people in my life that like I feel them slipping away, I'm like I have to control this situation.
Yeah.
And if I can't control it, I feel very triggered
Yeah.
and very like afraid. And so I freak out and like get very emotional because I feel like oh my God, like I am losing this person and I can't lose people. I can't lose a person anymore.
Yeah.
And her being able to like help me connect that back to like, well, you lost your mom and you weren't able to do anything about it. So now you're trying to like do something about everyone else. It's a lot.
That's a breakthrough though, and
It is a breakthrough.
being able to recognize that, but then how do you even start acting on it? That's like a whole other thing too.
Yeah.
Because that's just recognizing it is not enough. Like
Yeah.
you have to do
some work, and the work is hard. I don't like doing the work. The work is really hard. But it's like, I mean, that's something that I think is really valuable. I wasn't sure that I was going to ever go to therapy. I thought like, oh, I'm pretty good at managing myself. I'm going to be okay. And then every couple of years, I have these little stressors that trigger me, and I go into a really dark space. And so me being able to finally say, yeah, I need to talk to a professional. I need to like figure out what's going on and pinpoint that and get help for that. And she's been able to help me realize a lot of things that I never would have thought about myself. And I think that
That's
is a really valuable thing to invest in. Investing in what's going on up here is so...
I feel like I would love to get an oil change of my brain. That would be cool.
It's like getting an oil change for your car.
That would be cool. Yeah, well... Rest in peace to Dorothy Boleyjack, a true legend of NPL.
Thank you.
And so your therapist has told you that you are a control freak. And
in nicer words.
And my therapist has told me that I'm a ruminator and an overthinker that doesn't let things just go. I just hold on to things for a really long time. And like, I think you were saying like that I'm like Cardi B earlier.
When I beef with a girl, I beef with her.
I do. And I do. I do. But that's something that I've been really working on, is not like going back to all of these things that I've done or things that people have done to me, or like relationships, and ruminating about the past and what could have been and like what could have happened, like all of that. Or the work is hard. Like it is hard to just like stop and be like, man, this is like, what is this thought? Like I just have to get rid of this thought. Or like, it's like anybody who's been like suicidal knows that like it's really hard to like get out of it, because it seems like that's the only thing, and you just need somebody to talk to, like to help you like get out of that cycle, or to help you like just reframe, because you can't reframe with yourself sometimes when you're like in that loop. So I get in some loops sometimes and I don't know like what to do. But we got a control freak and a ruminator on the mic
hosting this podcast. It's very chaotic.
Yeah. So the past 2 years, I have got 2 autoimmune diseases. I was diagnosed with them in the past 2 years. And really 3, but the third one, I guess, it's related to one. And I went to, we are really grateful and we're really lucky here at the Nashville Public Library because we get health insurance. So I went to some doctors and I was like, let me check out what's going on. And all of the doctors were like, this disease that you have is stress related. Like it is directly caused by, I have sacroiliitis and I have alopecia areata. And both of those are directly, so I actually went to 7 doctors, and then I went to Egypt and I saw 2 doctors there in Egypt. And all of them were saying the same thing. And they're like, your immune system is in fight or flight all the time. And she like broke down one of the dermatologists broke down like what was going on for me, and at the end of your immune system is this V that sends out serotonin, and she was like, you have no more serotonin. Your body's not making it. You are just in all cortisol. You're all cortisol, no serotonin right now. And that is because my immune system is in this fight or flight mode, and it's in this like stressed out mode, and so much that it doesn't know who the healthy cells are and who the bad cells are. So now it's attacking all the healthy cells. And that's what an autoimmune disease is. This is when your immune system is just attacking all the healthy parts of your body. So the flare-ups have happened to me and I didn't really even notice this until later, but they happen during like highly stressful situations. And for people that don't know, like working at a place like the library or working at a place where there is no, like we're so lucky and grateful and blessed to have like no like physical labor, but a lot of the work that we have to do here is mental. And if you can't handle like the mental labor gymnastics of like what goes on, I don't think you can like make it. Like you can't survive.
Yeah.
And so there was like some situations that were happening in my life that were stressful outside of my life. And then at work, there was this stress of like, I started developing this like social anxiety as I'm getting older. I want people to take me more seriously. And with my name, here at the library and at every workplace that I've ever been in, and really like every non-Arabic speaking place, they just struggle with saying my name for some reason, or they'll like harp on it or like just latch on it for like a really long time and like don't actually ask me any questions about myself or get to know who I am as a person. So I started developing this like social anxiety of meeting new people because I'm like, okay, I have to like prepare because the name thing is going to happen and I have to like prepare myself. So I got like really stressed because I was like, man, I'm not doing the thing that I want to do. And then I was like going home to a highly stressful environment. But during all of that time, I was like eating healthy. I was exercising. I was saunaing. I was drinking my water. I was like going to the sound baths. I was going to yoga. I was going to therapy. And it still affected me. Like, and I still got sick. Like, I still got like 2 autoimmune diseases from all of that. So it like it goes back to the environment thing. Like, it does play like a huge role, I guess, in your mental health. Your environment definitely like I think can make or break, because it doesn't matter. Like if you like, I don't get these people like Nelson Mandela and like these people that like go to prison and just like are like, it's all up to your mind. I don't get it. I don't understand that.
I don't know either. I mean, maybe it has to do with the time too. I mean, I think depending on the things that you are challenged with, I mean, the mind is a really powerful thing. It is a resilient thing, and it'll do what's necessary to preserve a person depending on where they are at. But I mean, that doesn't, I don't think that comparing ourselves to someone like Nelson Mandela is even like necessary. Like I'm not
Nelson Mandela.
You're not able to do what Nelson Mandela did, but that doesn't invalidate the need for mental health and
do you think there's like
wellness.
A lack of resiliency as the generations go on? Like, I feel like my parents, like my mom, like she's like, what is stress? What are you talking about? There is no such thing. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so stressed. And then the generation like after us, the Z or whatever, is like, yeah, it doesn't matter, man. Like nothing. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the young kids.
I feel like Gen Z is a lot. They're not as nihilistic as we are. I feel like Gen Z is a lot more optimistic than we are, from what I've seen and heard. But I do think it is interesting. Our parents' generation is definitely more. I feel like it's a conditioning thing, right? Like they were conditioned to deal with stress,
pain,
and racism and like these really like extreme kind of situations. It was just a part of life. It was normal. And so for them, it's like, hey, if you want to make something shake, you got to get up, you got to put your shoes on, you got to lace your bootstraps up, and you got to, do the work and work it out. You can't complain about your mental health or being stressed or being sad. And that's not a real excuse, because if they're in their time, it wasn't a real excuse. It
Yeah.
was like, what are you going to do? Tell people that you're depressed, or are you going to go feed your family? You have a family of 5,
Yeah.
And so I feel like for our generation, because of information and because of technology and because, time changes and people change, I think that our generation has looked at our parents and we've seen how them working like dogs and breaking their backs for barely any pay, barely any, social security, barely anything really. To us, it's like, well, it's not enough. What is the point of me,
Yeah.
repressing myself and working myself to death if there's no real reward in that? And so I might as well, advocate for
The
having,
grind.
or well, not for advocating for rest.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
deserve
Like,
rest. I deserve to ask for things that do not cause me stress. I deserve to be paid a livable wage. I deserve to have access to mental health care.
yeah. What was like the biggest thing that you took away from therapy so far, other than like how grief is showing up in your life?
I think for me, the biggest thing I've learned in therapy is that I have control issues. I did not think I did, but I did. I do. And they show up in my life in different ways. And I didn't, like, pretty much everything that I do is me, like, trying to control how my life goes. When I feel out of control, I feel really triggered. I feel really afraid. And, like, so, and it's debilitating, honestly. Like, people don't, like, know about how sad I am. Like, I come into work and everyone's like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah, you keep it,
Lana."
but you keep it good. You keep it hidden.
I know.
You keep that bottled
Linda
up.
said this to me too. She's like, Lana's like, I know in her head she's probably like so anxious and like worried, and there's a million
Yeah,
things going on in her head, but she's just like, okay, and like she does it and she doesn't complain and she doesn't like
yeah,
let you know that she's stressed. And then like it's literally internally I'm going in like a million different directions, and I want to like I will literally like go home and cry.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not because my job is stressful, it's just because like I'm sad already. I'm stressed already about a number of things, and I come into a space where I have to be professional, and then and I hate like hiding. I hate like faking.
yeah.
I don't like being like something that I'm not. And so being like pretending to be happy when on the
There's
inside
just
you're like,
nothing more disgusting than that.
it feels like I feel like gross. Like I
Yeah,
feel like I'm wearing like I'm dirty and I need a shower because I'm like it's not authentic to who I am. And so it's like almost kind of a relief when I go home and I'm just like I'm in bed and I'm sad and I'm crying because like that's what I feel right now. But I think it's just like a testament too for like when you're dealing with people, like you don't know what's going on in their
yeah,
head. It's so easy to write people off and be like, they're weird, they're crazy, or I don't like them, or I don't like how they're talking to me, or whatever. But that's the biggest thing. That's another thing that I've learned is like, you know, as sad as I feel on the inside a lot of the time, and nobody notices, and nobody cares, and nobody knows, right? Like, how is it for other people that I'm encountering? How much more are they feeling?
yeah.
Like,
That's like the understanding part of
yeah,
like understanding. Like everybody recently seems like the fuse is out. Everybody's fuse is blown. Nobody has like a capacity to like actually understand the person in front of them
yeah,
like recently, because I don't know what it is, like maybe stress, maybe like, all this stuff is happening like in life, like I don't know, but it just seems like there was a time, like I remember a time like before 2017. Like in 2015, like I remember it was just chill. Like it was like I mean, it still was horrible. Like it still was like
Oh my
these
God.
weird vibes, but it was like much, I don't know, people had more like understanding for each other, but
Hmm.
like right now it just seems like there's like it is so fast and quick to write people off, and we see that like
Hmm.
here at work we see that too, and I see that with like specific types of people where the racism is like showing up because they're so ready to like write somebody off that made a mistake, but another person makes the same mistake, and they're like, well, we'll work with you to like help you,
Yeah.
be better or whatever.
Yeah.
And like who is forgiven and who's not, and that is like something that really shows like what society like cares about
Yeah.
the most is like it is like a representative of like the greater system, like how it's affecting our interpersonal relationships with each other.
Yeah.
And like
There's a lack of empathy. There's a lack of understanding. There's a lack of grace.
yeah,
And that can push people. I mean, that can push someone over the edge. And um, I, I personally haven't gotten to that point, thank God, and I don't want
yeah,
to. But I can see now, like when I was younger, I didn't understand how someone could be suicidal. And then there was a moment where I was suicidal, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's how. And so it's like you never really know until you are in those shoes, right? Like it seems silly to you that someone having anxiety prohibits them from being able to like function or talk to people or be in crowds or whatever until you have anxiety and you're like, oh, this is debilitating.
yeah. Like depression is real, and if you're
Yeah.
in a relationship with somebody that is making you are depressed because of not something that you are doing, but because the environment that you're in, you just can't easily get out of it. Like
Yeah.
you can't just like get a divorce and move, like, or
Yeah.
like you
You
can't
can't
do
just get
that.
a new
You
job.
can't just get a new job and leave the space because you can't control that. You can't
No,
control
you can't control
the
that.
environment or the people. And if you do, then it might be like an issue. I don't know. But maybe you could. You have that power,
No,
actually.
I don't.
You
But
have a little bit of it.
no, I don't.
Nah.
I'm
You're
not able to.
motivating. You're motivating.
I'm trying to give myself grace. I'm trying to learn how to put my foot down
Yeah.
and expect what the things that I deserve from people and from situations. I'm trying um to be like, this is what I need, and if that's not what you're going to give me, then I'm leaving.
Less of the people pleasing,
Yeah, less of the
more of
people
the.
pleasing, more of the like advocating for myself, and it's sad because it's hard because it can be very lonely to
Yeah.
finally say like, this is not serving me, and I don't want this, and if you're not able to give me what I need, then I am removing myself from
That is
this.
the hardest thing. Like, I feel like that for me
Yeah.
is the hardest thing to do. Is to be
Yeah.
like, I have to remove myself from you.
Yeah. And and that's the thing that I like go back and forth. I don't want to lose the people, the connection, the space, the I get comfortable in a space and I don't want things to change.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes they have to. And
That's the
so
only thing that's
I'm trying to
constant.
like leverage, well, how can I keep this thing in my life but also get what I need? And
Yeah, and that's where transformative relationships need to
need to
to
happen.
happen. So like,
But they aren't one way, they're two ways. And so it's like
yeah,
if I'm the only person that is trying to like to be self-realized or self-actualized, then like I'm not going to be able to get what I
it's
need
not
from
gonna
this.
work.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with like my therapist. I feel like she's awesome, but I want another therapist, and I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like, I don't know. I'm looking for somebody that can answer this question for me. A lot of how I feel sometimes is dependent on the people that are in my life, but I am not dependent on the people in my life for happiness.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want like a better relationship with them and they don't want to work on the relationship with me, or it like really affects me.
Yeah.
Like, is that rejection? What is that? Is that like,
I think that it feels like rejection for me.
yeah, my thing. So my family was a bunch of overachievers, and because of like they grew up poor, so they were like, we have to like grind hard to
Yeah.
make. And then when I moved to America, I was 11 years old. So then it was like all of the things that I'm doing now, like this, like my job, like, you know, being successful in like a career, like having all these hobbies, playing music, doing woodworking, doing like all these projects outside, like my therapist helped me realize like I don't have chill. Like I can't just sit and do nothing.
Yeah.
It freaks me out to just do nothing. Freaks me out.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you have to learn to like, you know, not take a whole day where you just like relax. Like you don't have to clean I'm like cleaning the inside of the toilet bowl. I'm cleaning the attic. Like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
because I think all of it stems back to I have to prove that I'm worthy here so that you don't send me back. Like,
Yeah.
don't send me
That
back.
immigrant mindset.
Don't, yeah,
You gotta work.
I'm good. Like, look, what do you need? What do you need? An EP? You need a table? You need a chair? You need Be Well at MPL? Like, I'm worth something.
Yeah.
Like, so please don't send me back. Like,
Mm.
please don't think that I'm not worthy. And so it's this constant, like, me, like, having to prove, like, trust me, like, I'm worthy to be at the table. Trust me, like, I can be in this meeting. Like, trust me, I can do this job. I can be this. And it's like, I won't stop at anything. Like, and I'll learn it quick.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, what's up? Like, what do I need to learn? Like, the English language? Like, let's go. Like, I'll learn it quick. So it has a good part of it, but the bad part of it is now I'm like exhausted. Like, now I'm just like
Stressed.
burnt. I'm like out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I need like 11 years of doing nothing. I need like a vacation, but
You don't know
like,
how.
yeah. And I don't know how to like chill,
Yeah.
like just relax.
So really what you're saying is you need to find a therapist that can help you chill.
A therapist that can help me chill. Like my
Yeah.
therapist I'm going to now, she's like, sorry, I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay, that is like kind of stressful.
Sorry, I clipped. I'm sorry. I heard it too. I was like, oh no. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
but at least you know. And I think that's the purpose, right? Of like going
Yeah.
to therapy is to figure out like, what do I need? Why
Yeah.
am I like feeling this way? And they like, my therapist, she showed me this picture of it's literally a picture of a person and their therapist, and like it's illustrating what a therapist does. And so she's like, in the mind of the client, there's like all these thoughts that are all jumbled.
Yeah.
And then the therapist takes those things and like organizes them.
Dang.
And so that's what a therapist does. They take what's in your mind and it's all messed and jumbled, and they piece together the parts that make sense and the parts that are attributed to these things, and they help you understand what is going on up here.
And you just have to hope to God that they're not evil.
Yes,
You just
because
have to-
not all, and that's another thing I think that's important to note, is like not all therapists are wonderful, and sometimes you have to go through a couple to find someone
Yeah.
that really vibes with you.
Yeah.
I thought that I would want a therapist that was like a tough love, because I'm used to tough love.
Yeah.
And then I got in therapy with my current therapist, and she's like the kindest, like most like validating person. And it feels, I told her, I was like, this is so uncomfortable. And she's like, why? And I was like, because you're just being very gentle. I'm not used to like this. But it feels good to sit there and have someone say, after you've like poured your heart out and you're weeping and you're a mess and you're blowing your nose and you're apologizing because you're embarrassed, right? It's like so nice to have someone sit there and say, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being vulnerable and going deep because that helps me help you. Like,
Presence.
I was like, thank me? Why are you thanking me? And it's like, because you did this great thing where you shared something that was really hard and like, you ought to be like praised for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I didn't know that I would need. And like, maybe somebody else would want a therapist that is like, listen, let's cut the BS.
Yeah.
You need to stop da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And they really value someone being honest with them. Maybe their whole life someone's lied to them, you know?
Yeah.
So there's like a give and take. You have to find the right person for you. And therapy's not for everybody, obviously. But I personally think that it's something that everyone should at least like try.
Definitely. If you have the ability to, because it's like,
It's expensive.
that's an expensive resource.
For
but
sure.
if you don't, come to the library, go to YouTube if you have internet access. If you don't, come to the library.
The library has internet access
We
for
got
free.
everything. We literally have everything.
Library cards are free.
And that's the
Unless
biggest,
you're
like,
outside of Davidson County,
Yeah.
then they're $10.
Oh, I didn't even know that we could give
Yeah, you can
people
get
outside.
if you're outside of Davidson County, you can get a library card. It's just $10 a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, look, no shade to Rutherford County library system, but Davidson County is a lot better.
I'm tired.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I want to strive for it to be like more chill, and the biggest like help has definitely been the education and literacy. Like this, so like the self-confidence comes from like if you don't have the privilege to get the education, like if you don't have like money to go to spend to take a class or whatever, then doing the research on your own and having that drive to be like, all right, I want to know like about emotional intelligence and what that looks like and what happens, and like learning and reading and just like doing that work, it makes you more confident and it builds up your self-esteem. At least that's like how I feel. That's like what it's been doing with me, is like understanding all of these things and like learning about all of these people that have lived a long time ago that have also talked about these things. It makes you feel way less lonely in your like struggle of it. Like just reading like I don't know, just reading like bell hooks even helps me like just level up on like a sad day.
All About Love is very challenging.
Yeah.
It's very hard to wrap my head around because it challenges everything that I feel like I've been taught about loving people, loving myself, living.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, like my, astrological placements or whatever. I don't know what it is, but something in me, like I can have mercy and compassion, but it's really hard for me to have forgiveness when I've been wronged. And that's something that I have to work on, is like, I got to forgive, and I have to understand that like people are just people, and they're going to mess up. They're going to make mistakes, and I make mistakes, and we all are just like human beings. So like, we got to like forgive each other, and you're like loved how much you're forgiven. I think like if people around you are like forgiving you and like truly forgiving you and like moving forward, then they truly love you. Like that's like, get around somebody that will forgive you for the mistakes that you make.
Yeah.
That's like something that I learned the hard way, I guess. Like being around people that just like are waiting for you to fuck up so that they can like be like, ha ha, is not good.
So they can hold it over your head and make you feel bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the tribe right. Like that's like a huge thing.
Getting a good group of people around you. Like that goes back to environment, like you said earlier. Having a good support system is very helpful. It's hard to change your mindset and to improve your mental space when you are not surrounded by a good core group of people. Even if you're going to therapy and you're doing everything right, if the people that you are around are not supporting you, it's not going to bode well. And I can say that from experience. But
yeah, I can attest to that as well.
Point.
Yeah.
But, well, we were just this is our first episode. This is just us chatting.
Just another day at the office.
Just another day at the office, sharing our feelings with each other and with you all, because we want to create a community and we want this to feel like a very big, long conversation. But we will be continuing these episodes. They'll be released every 2 weeks on Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday, we will be in the studio talking about mental health and all things related with a special guest. So every episode will not just be me and Bassam talking about our feelings. You don't have to worry if you don't want to hear us talk about our feelings. But yeah, we will have a number of guests from Nashville who are working in mental health, who are working in social justice, who are working in a lot of different areas.
Nashville's finest.
Nashville's finest.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some tough conversations.
The crisp of the crisp.
The crisp of the crisp, the cream of the crop.
Yes.
Say that 3 times fast.
The crisp of the crisp. Can't do it. Can't do it.
It's hard. But we just want to say thank you guys for listening. Again, tune in with us in 2 weeks on Wednesday. We're going to have some guests here and we're going to talk about some stuff. And we hope that this feels like a collaborative thing. We want to hear your opinions. So if you're joining in on this discussion, make sure to share your story, share your thoughts in our comments, wherever you're listening, on social media, and keep up with us. And let's all work together to remove the stigma from mental health, okay? Thank you guys all for listening. And remember, your mind matters.